Hey guys, welcome to the show. That is not the show that was intended. Um, I had actually planned on doing a live group coaching today, and I was very excited about doing that. Unfortunately, Facebook had other ideas, which is nice. But all the same, we rise above, we transcend. I'll give Facebook the opportunity to let a few people know that we're here, and then we'll get into a few words, and I'll let you get on with your days and evenings because I didn't actually have anything else prepared. So let's start looping this in. What have we looked at over the past few weeks about creating a reality? Because mark my words, that's what we've been doing. We've been looking at how to deliberately create our reality. Hey, Deb. And what I did was I took you through my model for, hey, Kerry, creating your own reality. And the model is really not that complicated. There are people who will sell you the idea that reality creation is some complex thing. It's not. Reality is very simple. 1 + 1 = 2 in the universe. Everything else is BS. All right. What we looked at is the construct of reality is essentially energy. Energy that's awaiting us to give it direction on which way to go, to give it some direction on what form it should take. Hey, Tracy. The first step in the process then of creating our own reality is, of course, preparing those instructions. Now, we are always sending a signal out to the universe, always, whether consciously or unconsciously. And that instruction is always followed to the letter. There is never, ever, ever any breakdown in communication between the instruction and reality. The breakdown happens between us and the instruction. The breakdown happens in that we end up actually going ahead and accidentally asking for something that we don't really want. We end up in a reality that we don't choose because we weren't conscious in the choosing, but we are always choosing. That's one of the first things that we looked at in our journey thus far here on Beyond Magic. The next thing that we did is we started to connect with the idea that our experience is held within a container of what we are able to actually sustain. And that container is our emotional state. Our emotional state is dictated by our practices in our energetic bodies, just where our physical state is held in the container of the practices that we have physically. If I eat healthy, exercise, and so on and so forth, I'll have a healthy body. When I engage in practices which strengthen, heal, and nourish my spiritual body, my energy body, that then is strengthened too. And the strength of that facilitates me being able to access more. I gave you access to my free gift, my Universal Law series, specifically around abundance. And if you haven't seen that yet, go ahead to www.dreamwithdan.com/laws and you'll be able to get hold of that. So, Universal Law, what does it have to say on it? Universal Law says, via the law of polarity, your vibration, we can only experience what we're vibrational matched to. So when I am able to hold the vibrational match to an experience, I have it. If I'm not able to hold the vibrational match to an experience, I don't have it. Vibrational match has been made to be something fancy and special. All that is my feeling space, my emotional state, which is measured and then matched with something else. Our emotional state is the first experience of our vibration. So if you listen to something like Abraham Hicks or another one of these guys that talk about being in the right vibration, literally, you can tell whether or not you're in the right vibration based on how you feel. Because the thing that you want has a feeling, a combination of feelings associated with it. And when you are deliberately holding that emotional state, you are then holding the frequency of that thing. But this is just the first step. So many times, people go out and say, oh, I'm holding the vibe of it. I'm holding the feeling. I'm feeling good. And they're not getting what they want because that's just one part of the puzzle. If I'm feeling good, but my thought quality, my thoughts and my mental rehearsal, the things I'm thinking about are related to something else, then I sabotage the journey of that intention or that idea becoming a part of my reality. So once I've chosen what I want and I'm feeling it, I then have to start up here believing it. And the reason why I have to believe it is because if we don't believe something, we're not going to see it. There literally is a part of the brain called the reticular activating system that stops you being able to see something that you don't believe is possible for you. So the practice is mentally rehearsing, visualizing, practicing up here, developing a level of certainty that something is going to show up. The really cool thing, your mind doesn't know if something's real or made up. It doesn't. So you mentally practicing, mentally rehearsing something tells the mind that it's possible and makes it real for you. So step 1, choose. Step 2, feel. Step 3, see. Step 4, do. In my work, I find this to be the most and the least important part of it. The most because it's the part that people fail at doing. They don't take any action. And the least because when all is said and done, everything that we've been choosing, feeling and thinking is going to have more say than what we do. What we do doesn't matter if it's not matched by what we've been choosing, feeling and seeing. And so these 4 pieces form what I call the flow funnel. It's a big part of my work. It's described in my best-selling book, Stepping Beyond Intention, which you can go ahead and get a copy of over at dreamwithdan.com/books. And what the flow funnel does is it gives us a model for understanding the construct of reality and also how we can engage with that construct of reality to get what we desire. Reality creation, guys, is not a complicated thing. It's very straightforward, but it's not easy because we are actually, in our own way, addicted to living the life that we have now. There's no such thing as being caught up in indecision or not making a choice yet. Your choice to not make a choice or your choice to make a choice that's not really aligned with what you want, again, makes you. Shows you that you've made a choice because consciously you are somewhere. That somewhere just happens to not be what you consciously desire to experience. I encourage you to go back and check the episodes that we've done thus far. The Beyond Magic shows, they've taken you down a couple of roads. I've done some visualization work with you guys. I've taken you through a model for creating intentions. I've given you some gifts. As I said today, I had intended to do a live coaching, but Zoom and Facebook weren't getting on, so it didn't work. We'll try and again next week and find a way to make it happen. But my encouragement for you over the next week, guys, is ask yourself, what's my relationship to what I've been choosing? Ask yourself, what's my relationship to what I've been feeling? Ask yourself, what's my relationship to what I've been thinking? And then and only then, what's the relationship to what I've been doing? Each one of the episodes has gone through one of those steps in some detail and given you some tools and some strategies to use. We also did a visualization to anchor in that teaching. As I said, we're going to try again with a live coaching next week. And if that doesn't work, I'll have something prepared. I've also got some really cool guests that are going to be joining me on the show over the next month as well. Some of my friends are going to come and join us. But we're going to get into this reality creation. I've covered some of the basics now over these past shows. Now we're going to dive in and really start creating new realities. My vision for everyone that follows my work is that you have an abundant, joyful, purpose-driven life. Now, I've got people that have come through my programs that are millionaires now, some at 6-figure net worth, financial freedom, found the love of their life, reconnected with their spiritual practice. I could go on and 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 on. But what it comes down to is creating your reality. Regardless of the thing that you're moving towards, the achievement of it is one thing and one thing alone. Deliberately creating a reality that contains that thing. You go and ask any of the guys in my program that are millionaires now. It wasn't being a millionaire that did it. It was being a person that had a reality where they were a millionaire. You go and ask any of my people who found the love of their life or who have had kids or healed themselves. It wasn't any of those things. It's that the reality contained that experience. Once you have mastery over creating your reality, there is nothing that you cannot do. Nothing at all. We are limited only to the limitations we place on ourselves. And it's my absolute honor to get to support people doing that every day. This has been Dan Mangena. You can check me out at dreamwithdan.com. If you go to dreamwithdan.com/Facebook, it will take you to my Facebook group where we share cool stuff every day. I've got podcasts, I've got blogs and all that other good stuff. I've got visualizations and all that good stuff. But what I've got most importantly is a love for you guys and a passion about empowering you to live more abundant, joyful, purpose-driven lives. I want to thank all of you who come to the show every week and been supporting it. We're just getting started. We're hoping to touch more lives, and I thank you for being a part of that. Just a quick shout out to everyone who's been here live, to Deb, to Kerry, to Tracy, oh, Shropshire, gangster, to your cousins in Victoria, lovely, to Kitty, thank you very much, Kerry, you're really sweet, nice. Looking for a career now. Do you know the funniest thing? One of the people in my program was been working for 4 months on creating a new job for herself. She got a new job and a 17% bump in her pay rise as well. Anything's possible. Do you know what? There's a golden rule. There's a modality I'm trained in called reality transurfing. There's a golden rule in reality transurfing that we don't normally like to hear. It's that it's not our job to tell people how to live their lives. It's our job to live our own life and to let them be themselves. And that sometimes it's hard for us to see in action, hard for us to hold and experience. But everyone's on their own journey. Everyone's on their own path. Our job is to ask ourselves, what do we want to create now that feels good to us and does no harm to others? So long as we keep doing that, we'll never go wrong. So guys, it's a much shorter show than normal. Ordinarily, I do some teaching, I do a visualization, I do a Q&A. But like I said today, we were intending to do a group call, but didn't go according to plan. I will work out a way to do it for next week so that we can definitely have that. And if not, then we'll get on to the next step of our ninja training on reality creation. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you beautiful people today. Much love, and keep dreaming with your eyes open. Bye for now.